Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Lately, I've been posting a lot of videos to AI. So today I thought let's bring my own voice into the action. So we're going to talk about top 10 largest military bases in the world. Number one on the list we have is Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg is based in North Carolina, just west of the city of Fayetteville. It's not only the largest army base in overall population, but it's also the largest military base overall, when including all five of the military branches, hosting the 82nd Airborne Division of the United States Army. It's a home to 57,000 military personnel, 11,000 civilian employees, and 23,000 military families. If you talk about the total area of Fort Bragg is no pushover either. The installation covered around 500 square miles, which is equivalent to 163 acres. Nearly 90% of that total, 146 acres, is dedicated to the training. Soldiers have used the grounds to obtain necessary skill set for use in war battlefields, which over the years have included World War One, World War Two, Vietnam War, and numerous other missions, such as Operation Enduring Freedom, Iraqi Freedom, and New Dawn. On number two, we have is Fort Campbell. Located squarely on the shared border between Kentucky and Tennessee is Fort Campbell, established in 1941 and named after Army Brigadier General William Bowen Campbell. This installation is also steeped in history and is home to 101st Airborne Division of the Army. Over the years, its population has grown by leaps and bounds. Fort Campbell has an active duty military population of 26,587 soldiers and nearly doubt the amount in overall family members, that is around 50,000. Civilian numbers in the vicinity of 6,500 and military retirees total of 70,000. Capable of supporting over 250,000 people almost. Fort Campbell is the largest military base in the world. However, it is estimated that two-thirds of the assigned soldiers live off site in neighboring counties such as Christian County in Kentucky and Stewart County in Volunteer State. At some point, Fort Campbell holds the potential to overtake the Fort Bragg in population. On number three, we have is Fort Hood, built 1 year after Fort Campbell. That makes it 1942. Fort Hood is located in Killen, Texas, roughly 60 miles north of Austin. It covers a wide space and it's actually larger than Fort Bragg if you talk about the land, roughly around 214,000 acres. That's equivalent to 340 square miles. Its footprint is so sizable that it straddles two counties, Bell County and Coryell County. It is the only post in the United States that can station and train two full armored divisions. There's conflicting information as to where the Fort Hood stacks up relative to other military bases in the world. From a perspective of active duty soldiers, there are almost like 36,000 service members who live there according to the military installations. This would put it in the second place behind Fort Bragg, but in the overall population, Fort Hood service members, family and civilian surpasses around 500,000, making it the largest military base as far as what it is capable of hosting. On number four, we have Lewis-McChord Joint Base, home of I-Corps and 62nd Airlift Wing Joint Base. Lewis-McChord is one of the newest installations in the United States, melding Fort Lewis and McChord in October 2010. Both Lewis and McChord air bases have been around for a while though, established in 1917 and 1947 respectively. The consolidation of these installations has allowed more people to live in what's described as the Department of Defense premier military installation on the West Coast. According to the website, 40,000 active duty service members, 60,000 family members, and 15,000 civilian and contract employees live in Lewis-McChord, an excess of six figures overall. In area, Lewis-McChord is actually bigger than Fort Bragg at 647 square miles. The lion's share of that area is taken up by the Yakima Training Center. On number five, we have on the list is Fort Moore. It's yet another installation situated in more than one state. Thanks to its massive size, land that covers around 182,000 acres, while the fort physical address is in Georgia, its territory extends into Alabama, much like the aforementioned installations. It's an army base and has served this branch of the military since 1918. In population, Fort Moore is home to 7,600 people, according to estimate. This includes 3,250 civilian employees. 14,000 off-post active duty, 13,250 career retired, and it's also home to 27,436 who are on active duty. Fort Moore is an ideal base actually to raise a family and has a variety of healthcare and educational services. Right now, as you can see, 5 of the 10 most largest military bases are located in United States, but there are quite few that are overseas that are sizable as well. The following five are just one of the few of them, starting with that is believed to be the largest. On number 6, we have Camp Humphreys. That's located around 45 miles south of Seoul, the capital city of South Korea. The site of a massive expansion project that began over 10 years ago and cost almost around $11 billion. According to Time magazine, Camp Humphreys is the United States' largest overseas military base outside of contiguous 48 states. It is anticipated to be home of almost 45,000 service members as well as their families and civilian contractors. The United States has maintained a presence in South Korea since the signing of the Mutual Defense Treaty of 1953, which signaled the official end to the Korean War. Since the Korean War, South Korea and the United States have maintained an excellent ongoing relationship. On number 7, we have is Thule Air Base. That's located in Greenland, around 930 miles south of North Pole. Thule Air Base is the United States' northernmost military base. It's also the highest port in terms of global positioning, with 3,000 flights taking off from Thule Air Bases every year. It was firstly opened to military use during World War II. Thule Air Base is maintained by Air Force and the host of 21 Space Wing, 721st Sport Group, and 821st Air Base Group. While there are U.S. service members who live there, the harsh climate makes it inhospitable local for military families. Temperature can reach the negative digits and even have been gone as low as negative 47. On number 8, we have is Camp Fuji. Once used as a training ground for samurai warrior, Camp Fuji is among the oldest military installations in the world, roughly 2 hours from Tokyo on the island of Honshu. This installation is located at the base of Mount Fuji, hence the name, and is primarily run by United States Marine Corps. However, it also used by Japanese Ground Self-Defense Force and hosts the Japanese National Youth Centers. Over the year, it has received a number of renovations and upgrades, including additional barracks, maintained buildings, a medical clinic, and post office. These modernizations have made it more enjoyable installations for the military members and civilians who live here. The base spans nearly 33,400 acres and a training facility that is over 300 acres. Number 9, we have as Naval Station Guantanamo Bay. Found off the far southern coast of United States in Cuba is the Naval Station Guantanamo Bay, also known as Gitmo. Guantanamo Bay Naval Base has been leased by the United States for over 120 years, dating back from 1903. Since then, it provided the Navy with a variety of uses, including fleet training, migrant operations, humanitarian relief, disaster assistance, and served as a detention center. As stated on their website, Gitmo remains the forward-ready and replaceable U.S. sea-power platform in the Caribbean and provide decision makers with an outlet for interagency operations when and if they are needed. Last but not the least, the number 10 we have is Camp Hansen. Located on the northern tip of Okinawa, Camp Hansen is another fort maintained by U.S. Marine Corps and is one of the several military bases located on the Japanese prefecture. In fact, over 60% of the U.S. military bases that are present in Japan are actually on Okinawa Island, according to the diplomat. Similar to Camp Fuji, Camp Hansen is a shared fort between the U.S. Army and Japanese troops, used throughout the year, primarily for training purposes. Some of these exercises involve the use of live fire. The name, it's basically in the honor of Dale Hansen, who took part in the Battle of Okinawa during World War II. Camp Hansen has hosted several regiments and battalions over the years, including 3rd Law Enforcement Battalion, 3rd Intelligence Battalion, 31st Marine Unit, and 9th Engineer Support Battalion. It houses a few thousand Marine service members, but it's growing.